All right, so let's say you just signed up for the spring race in California and you're super excited about it, you're really ready to go get some sun, but you happen to live in New York where you're gonna be doing the most of your training through the winter. Well, today what we're gonna be talking about is how to best get our body acclimated for that hot weather race day so we can show up and perform our best. One of my top tips that I can give you is if you have the access to get to a warmer climate, please do so. You really want to make sure that your body can perform in those hotter temperatures. You're going to need to think about what you're going to wear, what you're going to drink, all that good stuff. So that's my number one tip. Short of being able to drive somewhere, if you have the opportunity to make yourself warmer when you're running or getting into some hotter climate, please do so. If you have access to a sauna, a steam room, especially if it's gonna be a humid race, that's a really good idea. Just actually breathing in that humidity to see how your body reacts. Some people, their bodies just don't like being in the humidity. So it's good to know before race day. One other thing that you can do if you don't have access to that steam room and that sauna, maybe trying to run inside on the treadmill. It tends to be a little bit warmer in there, especially if you don't have to be out in the elements, if it's snowing, things like that. It's always going to be warmer inside. If you don't have access to any of those, the next best thing would be to go outside and just layer up. Try to make your body as warm as you can. I know it may feel a little uncomfortable, especially multiple layers trying to run, but your body will at least feel that temperature and you'll at least know what you're going to be going into on race day. So let's think about training for this race in the heat just as we would training for a race at altitude. You wouldn't only train at sea level and never go up to altitude because you don't know what effects it's going to have on your body. You don't know how you're going to react. So it's the same way we want to think about training for the heat. It is this huge factor that goes into race day that really can affect us in multiple different ways. So a couple things that you can do before race day, leading up that week before, is look at the course map, see what they're going to have on the course for nutrition, where the water stations are going to be, so that you know you can get enough water and hydration in during the entire race, especially if you're training somewhere where it's colder and you're not used to needing to take in as many electrolytes. You're definitely going to have to up that level on the course. So say that they're super spread out and you can't get to them very easily, and you know that you're maybe a salty sweater, you tend to need more electrolytes, you're gonna need to think about bringing something like a hydration handle, water bottle. You're gonna need to think about those so that you can actually have those with you during the race so that you can sip whenever you need to and make sure you're replenishing. Another thing that you can do a couple days before the race is actually just go to the venue early. Go up, hang out, get a shakeout run in that weather. Maybe if you've been running in the cold, you've only been running in tights and now you're gonna have to wear shorts for the race. See how that feels, kind of test everything out, see how your body reacts to the heat. So let's talk about some things that you can do on race day. So you want to think about what you're going to be wearing because that is going to make or break this race. What I have here, option number one, I know it's black, but this shirt is called IB Cool. And it has a cooling sensation. It's meant to keep you cool. It has that UV protection for some of those of you who don't like tank tops or don't want to wear sunscreen. It's got the nice mesh underneath, so it's going to keep me nice and cool and breathable. Or if you're like me, I like to be bright. I like to have a tank top on. Some other things that you can do are wearing a hat, keeping that glare out of your eyes, because also if you're squinting for 26 miles, your eyes are going to hurt. So we also have some sunglasses here to protect my eyes, got a little face protection here. Always, 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 sunscreen is a must. Coach Elizabeth will be very mad at you if you do not have some. Once again, I got my handheld over here with a little compartment to keep my extra nutrition in here. Like I said, if you don't have access to it on the course, you can have it on hand at all times. I'm also wearing shorts because, once again, it's gonna be super hot, but I made sure that to choose things that are gonna be super lightweight and breathable so to keep me as cool as I possibly can during the race. All right, so the last piece that I want to talk about today is your race day nutrition specific to training in that heat. Now, we've already talked about having my handheld water in here. This one's great because it has an extra little pouch and I can keep my goo in here. This one's great because it's the Roctane and it has extra sodium and amino acids in there, which are really going to help you during the race, help you get that extra little boost. And because I've been super diligent about looking at the race course and seeing what kind of electrolytes they're going to provide, I'm gonna make a mental note of that and either bring my own or make sure to be filling this up with the electrolytes. If you're bringing your own, I suggest the UCAN packets here. This one's easy because you can just rip it open, keep it in your little pocket and dump it in here, shake it up and you're good to go because there's no carbonation in it. This one, 0 calories, 0 sugars, so that one tends to sit a little bit better in people's stomachs. Personally, I like the Nuun. It does have the carbonation in it for those electrolytes, but I always will make it the night before and have it so it's good to go and I can sip it during the race. Another thing that you always want to make sure on is, especially a couple days before leading up to that race, you are drinking water and some extra electrolytes in there as well too. Even if you're in the colder weather, you want to make sure you're putting them into your body so your body can be a little bit more saturated and ready to go and perform on race day. If you don't like constantly sipping or you don't want to carry anything, you don't like that like super sloshy tummy feeling you get when you're drinking too much, these salt stick pills are going to be a lifesaver. They have everything in here that's going to give you those extra electrolytes. As you can see on here, reduce from heat stress, muscle cramping, and maintain electrolyte levels. Cramping is no fun, guys, and we want to make sure that we kind of alleviate as much as we can, especially if you've been training in the winter and the cold. You probably have not going to experience these kinds of feelings on the course. So making sure that we are ultra prepared and ready to go for race day so we can finish happy and we can finish healthy and not dehydrated, because that is no joke and no fun. So I am not a nutritionist, but luckily Coach Elizabeth is, and she did a much deeper dive onto what your body needs to train in the heat from a nutrition standpoint. So go check out her video now so you can get all that in-depth detailed information on what your body needs on race day.